Hi there guys, welcome to my final vlog on the coaching process. I'm just going to run you through a session that I've completed recently. I've unfortunately been a little bit constrained by this task working in football, and the time that this task was actually set has clashed with our off season, so I unfortunately haven't been able to do any group sessions or any conditioning sessions that I would have liked to have done for this task. However, um, I'm using a video from an upper body strength session that I completed with two of my young players that are currently rehabbing lower limb injuries. So they've been in training whilst the rest of the squad's been off on holiday. They've been in with me, and I'll be running through an upper body strength session. As I said, this is an upper body session, so the nature of it is to focus on the compound lifts. I'm using the bench press, a bent over row, chin up, dip, and then an overhead press as well with the boys. So I'm just going to have a look at how I deliver those key exercises in the gym, and how they respond to my delivery, and then I'll look at some positives, some negatives, and areas that we can work on moving forward. Watching this clip back has showed me the first thing I'm pleased with is that I have a discussion with the boys about the session, hand out the program, we go through the program and look at what we're going to do in the session today, so the boys are crystal clear on what they need to do. The other thing that has pleased me is that I've made sure that they complete a warm-up set on an empty bar. There's a real temptation for 16, 17, 18-year-old boys to dive straight into the gym and dive straight on heavy weights without doing an appropriate warm-up, getting themselves used to the exercise. So that's something that I've reinforced there, and I think that shows good coaching practice and good awareness of my players and what they want to do when they're in the gym. Another thing I'm quite pleased with is I'm watching here and I'm ensuring that our timings on the exercise are done accurately and done to what I want. A nice slow eccentric bench press and a fast, or as fast as possible, concentric bench press. That's helped by my good coaching position, me being behind the bench spotting the boys, and I'm just making sure I'm just counting it down, counting the bar down for them to make sure that they're hitting those targets. Again, it can be a little bit of a issue with some of the boys. If I wasn't around checking up on them, they would almost rep out as many reps as they could nice and fast, which isn't the nature of the session. It's not what I'm trying to achieve. So I think from that perspective, being in close, counting them down, making sure that they hit those specific timing targets again shows good coaching practice, and it's making sure that the boys get out of the session what I want them to achieve. One thing I have noticed though, watching this clip, is the management, or my management of players that are not actually doing the exercise is quite poor. Whilst as a coach I don't believe it's my responsibility to monitor their timings or their rest intervals between sets, I simply prescribe that for them. I haven't done a very good job in this instance in making sure that they're fit, they're ready to go, and they're raring to go to get onto their next set of exercises. That's something that I could definitely improve on, something that I need to manage and monitor a little bit more closely with my athletes between sets there. The boys as well, you can see a couple of the exercises that I'm making them do here, particularly the chin-ups. They don't want to do them, they're not exercises that they necessarily like, and they're sort of doing all they can to slow it down and get as much rest time between sets as possible. It's something that I need to be on top of to make sure they're actually getting the work done that I've set for them. And one final piece that I have noticed here, and this is something that shows that this reflective practice is actually quite useful for me, is I've put them straight in with a bench press, but I haven't really completed much of a needs analysis, and sort of anecdotal needs analysis needs to be done. This second player here, for me, he's not really capable of bench pressing those weights. I'm sure he's trying to do it to stick to the program. He's trying to stay with his mate in terms of what he can lift, but it's not beneficial for him, and I should spot this earlier on. I don't necessarily spot it, I think probably because I'm spotting and I'm timing the exercise for him, but actually he'd have been better off regressing slightly, either going lesser weight or moving down onto dumbbells or something like that, just to get the technique right, because the bench is not linear. It's all over the place. Sorry, the bar is not linear, not the bench. And he'd really benefit from just regressing back slightly, and I don't actually notice it in the gym. I've only noticed it watching the video. So there we go, very quick breakdown, a bit of a reflective practice for me, and whilst it was quite a short session, it's not normally the type of session that I'd film. It's proven to be quite a good practice just to look at myself coaching and what I'm saying to the boys, and then what they're doing and how they're behaving when they're not working is quite interesting, and is something that will make me more aware when I'm in the session next time.